Where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm in BFE.
Welcome to the Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. We might not know where we're all at, but we're all here, and that's all that matters. And we're to break down the wiggity wild, wild west. Will Smith might be on later. We don't know, but we're going to take this thing and get through these divisions and then get ready for the season. What up, boys?
I'm good, dude. Eric, pretty dark. You don't have your normal background. You got your Paw Patrol headphones on. What's up?
They're Batman headphones. How dare you? Yeah, I'm on the backup to the backup setup to do this tonight. So
They sure are.
He's on the road, boys. He's
midnight, East Coast time.
on the road, on the East Coast.
I know. This might be my last episode. Maybe next week will be my last episode in my current domicile. I don't know. So we'll see. I'll keep all my stuff with me, but they're coming to pack me up next Thursday and Friday, boys.
Exciting. All right, since Eric ain't got much time, it's late where he's at. Let's get ready to get into this, but Josh, tell him why we're here.
Because we're brought to you by the Fantasy Sports Alliance, and you're going to check out our website at fsa-fr.com. We got on Facebook at PresFSA, Instagram FSA_FR, Twitter, same thing. Twitch is fantasy_sports_alliance. All that can be found on the bottom ticker. Now, redraft full, dynasty full, monkey knife fight, get in there. Veterans League, get in there. Not to mention all the great shows that we have every Tuesday night. You got the Average Bros. They've been breaking down the dynasty drafts. Every Wednesday night, you have the Fanatically Real broadcast by our fearless leader who just re-upped for 2 more years in the great United States Army. Good for you, Brian. Have fun with that. So I appreciate what you do.
2 more.
Woo! 2 more. It's going to like 23 or something, my boy. God bless you. All right. We just had a great 4th of July weekend. Last division we're breaking down tonight, boys. So once again, check it out, fsa-fr.com. That's our website. Also, that is where our stream is now currently found. Underneath them, you cannot go to the old empty wagon thing and find us anymore. You're going to be finding us at the FSA podcast stream, which can be downloaded anywhere. Download it anywhere, wherever you want. So anyway, back to you, Bradley Dudley.
All right. Well, I don't know if Eric has his normal setup, so I don't know if Eric, are you ready for the football darts? Oh, you don't know it?
I'll wing it.
All right. Our broadcast sponsor is Football Darts. Go check them out at footballdarts.com. They take all the skill of darts, mix it in with the strategies of football to make a unique dartboard experience. Use promo code IPLAYFSA and get 30% off your dartboards. Go over there, check them out. Listen to the last episode for Eric's great spiel on them. But they are a great company, a great, unique New York thing to get. And go get them. Check them out, footballdarts.com. That was weak. All right. Sorry about that, football darts.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
There it is. All right. The West. How the West was won.
Can you guys hear that?
Hear what?
That?
Nope.
Perfect.
Okay. What's she doing? Grinding her toes or something?
Just gonna take a shower over there, and I was like, I don't know. Good to go.
Yeah, you're good.
Have fun, dear.
Yeah,
you look great.
Whatever. Keep that to yourself, bud.
Keep
it PG. Keep a Disney Channel over here, bud.
All right.
Keep a Disney Channel in here.
PG over here, dude. I don't know what
yeah, dude. Keep a High School Musical.
She's fully dressed. Fully dressed. See? She wouldn't have come over here if she wasn't. Anyway.
All right. Let's start with the Josh's Denver Broncos.
Do we have to?
Yes. Let's talk about the quarterback a little quarterback conversation going on here between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Who do you think starts week 1, Josh?
Well,
let me get the coin out and flip it.
Vic Fangio is very terrible. So he'll probably.
He's not terrible. He's just old. Leave him alone.
The oldest head
like
coach in the NFL. Yeah, not good. Not good. So I think it'll be Drew Lock. I wish it was Teddy. I think Teddy's a better quarterback than Drew Lock. I'm really at some point Teddy will be the starter throughout the season. There's no way that they're going to go an entire season with Drew Lock for two reasons. One, he's not that good, and two, he's injury prone. So Teddy will get his shot, and then he'll probably never relinquish the job as soon as he's starting. So that would be my guess.
Yeah, I think you're right because I think Drew Lock in camp and everything will probably show more highlight real plays and more impressing everybody at camp. Where Bridgewater's probably just making the throws you want to make, and he's a game manager, right? Not a bad thing. Brady was a game manager for a lot of years, and now we call him the GOAT. So,
well, some people call him that.
Yeah, there's people call him the GOAT.
Yeah, not me. I don't call him that. It's John Elway.
Okay,
Joe Montana.
I don't even know if you weren't even a Broncos fan back then.
It's not really I just don't like him. I mean, I want to like him. He's great. I just don't like him. There's just something about Brady. I just can't get over it.
He's just too good. All right, let's get off Brady here. So, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, for fantasy purposes, are you starting either one of those? Are they just streaming options? 2 QB leagues, you hope they're your third quarterback?
Yeah. I think Teddy still has value. Drew, to me, doesn't have any value at all. Because let's say that Teddy Bridgewater goes down and Drew Lock is the starter this season. He won't be on the starter for the Denver Broncos much longer after this. There was a reason they brought him in, and there were reasons that the Deshaun Watson trade rumors were swirling all around because they know Drew's not the guy. They know.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, he has zero value in dynasty or redraft. I don't. He's a streamer.
Okay. Okie dokie. Let's go to the running back. Like, this is a team of who is the better player for fantasy. Let's go to the running backs. Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, the rookie. Eric, who do you want to own? Let's see if you can get something out here.
I want Javonte Williams.
For this year.
I don't think – well, Melvin Gordon's got what? For this year, I still want Javonte Williams. Word from campus, he's impressing. He's looked really good. And he's going to be the guy going forward. They spent second-round draft capital on him. And Melvin Gordon isn't under contract after this year. So I think they're going to move on from him as quickly as possible. Plus, he had the DUI in the offseason, and he's been okay. He's been serviceable. He was running back 14 last year, I believe, in PPR. So he's not a bad option, but I think Williams will supplant him. And he's a 3-down back kind of guy. He can carry the rock that many times. He had an okay workload in North Carolina, but just the sheer number of broken tackles. He's a grown man. He's going to show out in the NFL probably earlier than most of the rookie running backs out there other than Najee Harris. So I think he supplants Melvin Gordon pretty quickly.
Yeah, and right now his ADP is not bad. We'll see if that hype keeps building. And if the hype does keep building on the ADP and he keeps sliding up into, the top 15 or 18, I'm not going to have any Javonte. He's going to be one of those guys that I'm going to have on a lot of dynasty teams, and I probably won't have any shares of in redraft because there comes to a point where he's just not going to be worth the value anymore because they are going to split for a while. We don't know how long this battle is going to go on. We don't know if it's going to be a couple of games here, a couple of games there, whatever. I'm not denying that Javonte should be the guy. I think he is going to be the better player. He's got far more left in the tank than Melvin Gordon does, but the Broncos are just kind of a mess when it comes to things like this. They've been a mess for the past few years with running backs, and I don't really expect this season to be any different. I hate to say it, but Javonte Williams will be the starter by the end of the year. But right now, their ADPs are fine because actually Melvin Gordon's going after him. But I think it's 26 and 28 overall for running backs, which is fine. But, yeah, if that slides up, I'm not going to have any. I'll have some Melvin Gordon based on his ADP.
So here's the thing with Javonte Williams. Beat reporters are coming out and saying that he'll probably lead the team in carries this year. Mm-hmm. So I think he's one of those guys that in a redraft league, I'm probably not going to draft him because it's, what'd you say, like third round grade right now?
No, right now, it's not too bad. He's a third RB, so he's 26 right now in ADP. But that's one of those things that's gonna keep sliding up. He's gonna be one of those guys that the hype just keeps building and building and building. And I already see where it's going. There's a lot of drafts that I'm jumping in when I'm doing mocks with guys, and he's getting taken in the third round. Yeah. I'm not doing that, man.
I'm not there either on that, but what I will do is after week 1 or 2 where Melvin Gordon maybe gets more run than him, maybe I'm throwing a trade offer out there in a redraft league or waiting for somebody to drop him. Like they're freaking out because they're 0-2 and they're running their first running back they took in the third round isn't producing.
And you sure do love
and you throw somebody and you throw Mike Davis at him. No, Mike Davis will probably start the season. Mike Davis will probably be world beaters, but by the end, that Atlanta,
yeah. Dude, you love holding somebody down, don't you, bro?
I don't like holding them down. I like to have a mutual trade. We'll talk about trade here in a minute. Me and Eric did. All right.
We actually did 2 trades.
So real quick, what round would you find it serviceable to get him in? Now we're talking PPR. What round would you be okay taking Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon in?
In a redraft league, right? Not dynasty?
Yeah, we're talking redraft.
In a redraft league, I would be okay with taking Williams in the 5th if I have 2 other running backs on my team that I know I can start. It's probably going to hurt me at QB or tight end, but I could reach as high as the 5th probably for him.
That's I'm thinking maybe 6 because there's really going to be some good wide receivers there, but it's going to – a lot of it will determine how the draft falls. If you really are desperate for another running back at that point, you might end up taking him there. But I would like to get him in the 6th, but he's going to start going in the 4th and 3rd, and that's just going to be something where you need those guys to hit, and he's not going to hit right away, in my opinion.
The only way I'm taking him in 3rd is if I went running back, and I'm going 0 like everything else and just banking everything in my 3 running backs, which has worked in the past, but –
All right.
Let's talk about these wide receivers. We got Courtland Sutton coming off the my leg is destroyed is what I'm just going to call it. My knee is destroyed. It wasn't just an ACL, right? It was more than that. And then Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler's coming into his 2nd year, and Tim Patrick's still there. Of the 2 big guys, who has the better year, Jeudy or Sutton?
I think it's Sutton. I think Courtland Sutton is criminally undervalued right now. He's the 30th wide receiver going off the board in PPR. Okay. And that's just insane. Jerry Jeudy had a bad case of the dropsies last year. He's 38th off the board right now, which is fine. I don't know. Judy's a better player. Judy's a far better player. But the quarterback thing is going to be a mix-up this year, and I think right now Sutton has a better grasp of the offense and how to make things work. But year 3 for Jeudy, year 3 breakout thing, I think that's happening for sure. He's too good.
So the last year that Sutton played the full season, so 2019, Drew Lock who was his quarterback in 2019? Was that still Drew Lock? Was that Drew Lock's first season where he took over halfway through the season?
Yes.
He was the wide receiver 19 in PPR.
That's
with terrible good. Quarterback play all around. So he was
terrible.
Really good. Yeah,
it was so hard to watch. So bad.
Very good.
So bad.
He had 72 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Yes.
So very good numbers. And we've seen Teddy Bridgewater keep 3 wide receivers afloat. Obviously in a different offense. But you act like you want to say something, Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah, Drew Lock led the league in uncatchable passes last year. So you can talk about Jerry Jeudy's dropsies all you want. He's not getting a catchable ball most of the time. So if I'm not expecting a catchable ball most of the time, hard, or really making effort, I think Judy's the guy to take. And there's reports coming out that Sutton may not be ready and that he's not all the way back yet with that leg injury. So I worry about that too.
Yeah, I do agree that Drew Lock throws a terrible pass. However, Cortland Sutton was pretty good with him. Jerry Jeudy last year finished 45th. So I'm just saying, Tim Patrick was one slot better than him, and we know Tim Patrick's not a better receiver than Jerry Jeudy. That's not even a question. So the guy who benefited the most from all that was Noah Fant because the routes were shorter.
Burying the lead here, boys. Burying the lead.
All right.
Hold on to Fant. Do you want? Do you want to own KJ Hamler at all? No, right?
No,
not even rosterable. Correct?
Dead to me.
What about Tim Patrick?
Those two throwing him the ball.
No.
Tim Patrick at all?
No.
If Bridgewater's the quarterback and maybe Sutton's not 100% and he's the number 2 there, possibly, maybe. He's a guy to keep an eye on the waiver wire. That's all I want to say. Maybe not in your drafting, but maybe he's just a guy to keep an eye on. All right, let's talk about Noah Fant. This is probably the cream of the crop of this team right here. Correct?
Yeah.
And the cream always does what, Josh?
It always rises.
All right, he's going tight end 8 right now in PPR, 79th overall. Is he that good tight end that we're looking to get, but after the big guys go?
He's one of them.
Yeah, he's right there. I mean, he was finished 8th last year. He was tied with Gronk. It's not bad in PPR. So, I don't know, man. I mean, there's going to be more competition this year for passes. Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, Teddy didn't really use his tight ends in Carolina last year. I think Noah Fant he's the best option for sure as far as sure guys you can draft, but we'll see.
You say he didn't use his tight ends, but who were his tight ends in Carolina? Give me one.
Ian Thomas.
Exactly.
Bet you didn't think I could spit that out that quick, did you?
Exactly. Noah Fant's better than Ian Thomas. And he doesn't have 3 wide receivers he's got to feed. I think he's in a more, so I like Noah Fant this year. I think that's a good spot for him. He could easily finish as tight end 6 or tight end 12.
Yeah.
He will be a tight end 1 just because he's going to play the whole season and be the guy there.
Yep. I agree.
He's the 8th tight end off the board. He's going 79th overall. I think that's pretty good value. I'd rather have him than Dallas Goedert. He's going after him.
Yes.
So
yes. All right. Let's talk about the Chugga Chiefs, boys.
This will be easy.
This is it. This is a team. Hold on, but this is a team for years. We said, own them all. Own them all. Give me any piece of the team I can get. I think it's kind of going away from that. I think you want the big dogs, and then after that, it's I will stream the other guys, maybe, but I don't have to have them. And we'll get into that in a second. Patrick Mahomes, he's the QB1, right? Thanks.
The QB1.
Yeah, like the. Okay, moving on. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Depending on what part of the season you look at with him, you can see different numbers. He did finish. He flirted with. Yeah. Well, first half of the season, he was really good. Second half of the season, it was like,
You just said you'll see different numbers. I'm like, yeah, every game's different.
Exactly. Exactly. You're talking stuff like that. You're right. They'll speak the rocks. What do you guys think about CEH this year? Does he stay in RB1? Or is he one of these guys you worry about falling out of the RB1 range? They added Jarrett McKinnon, and they still have Darrell Williams back there.
He was an RB1 last year?
No.
Or he finished just outside RB2,
no, he finished
right?
He finished 22nd.
22nd, that's what it was.
So he finishes an RB2. I think right now his draft position he's 18th off the board, and I think that's a fine draft position with a guy who's got upside. Normally Andy Reid does produce an RB1. This was kind of the first year that he didn't, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a rookie. I love Clyde this year. I mean, I loved him last year. I think he's going to do just fine. He's a guy who I still do want a part of, and then the other big two. But right now with his ADP, I'm absolutely fine with it. He's going to be my RB2. I think he's going to finish the season with a high RB2, possibly an RB1. I'm all about it, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Ben.
I would rather have a guy like Gaskins. Gaskins going 22nd overall.
Get out of here.
Compared to CEH at the beginning of the 3rd round. Dobbins, I like Dobbins better too, especially in half point.
You don't know.
I don't trust him to get the ball in that offense. I think they're going to throw it down the field to the other guys.
Mm-mm.
They don't run the ball a lot either.
You know.
They have like 1 or 2 games here and there where they script it up for him, but I don't love CEH. Not bad value though.
Yeah. And then what about Darrell Williams or Jarrett McKinnon? Is there any value there, or only if there's an injury to CEH?
No, Jarrett McKinnon ain't got no knees, dude. Shut up.
But he shows flashes.
He ain't got no knee. Yeah, he's gonna flash his ACL out. Shut up. Get out of here.
Okay. All right. Tyreek Hill. He's a top 5 wide receiver. I don't care. We can debate where he sets in the top 5, but he's definitely in the top 5. Probably the top 3, really, if you get into it.
Yeah, probably the top 3.
We can debate where he sets there. Mecole Hardman. This is where I'm saying, like before, it's like, give me a piece of Mecole Hardman. Give me I don't think I want pieces of them. I think I would rather go get a Robert Woods or something, another wide receiver from another team over a Hardman.
Oh yeah.
This is his 3rd year in the offense.
He's going wide receiver 56. So I guess everybody's on board with that.
Who cares? I don't think there's anything special about Mecole Hardman, honestly. I mean, he's fast. Good for you. I'm glad you're fast.
I'd rather go draft Elijah Moore over him.
Right after him.
Yeah, a round after him, yeah. Instead of him, I would take Elijah Moore. Yeah,
I'd
rather take
right after him.
A risk on one of these rookies over him in a redraft league.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not much of a risk based on his ADP, but you just kind of feel better. Like, okay, I can get him and hope that something happens, but I kind of like my chances with Elijah Moore, who I think could be the guy, and then Rashad Bateman, who could be the guy in Baltimore, and they might have more opportunities. So I'm okay with that. Mecole Hardman, we saw what happened whenever Sammy Watkins wasn't there. Nothing
changed. Yeah. DeMarcus Robinson and Byron Pringle. I just want to bring them up because they'll both probably have one game this year where we're like, oh, we getting on here.
We did it. Waiver wire du jour that week.
Yeah. There'll be 1 week. Slow your horses. Yes, Patrick Mahomes will have a week where he throws 6 touchdowns, and they all can't go to Kelsey and Hill. All right, Travis Kelce, the tight end 1 still, even though he's getting old. Getting old, boys. He's getting old every year. We say he's getting old.
I don't know.
Tony
Gonzalez was a tight end 1 until he retired, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Yeah. So Travis Kelce, is he the tight end 1? Yes, he's the tight end 1. He's tied for target is what?
He was player 9 last year, like overall. PPR.
Yeah. He was 50 points over. He was 50 points over tight end 2.
That's pretty good, Bob.
Yeah.
He had the biggest gap from 1 to 2 was him.
Is that a Michael Strahan size gap?
No. Did you see the April Fool's thing where Michael Strahan said he got rid of his gap?
Yeah, I did.
They went to the dentist. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
He should have went with it. That gap is terrible.
Nah, he owns it, dude. But so with the Chiefs, do we just want the top 4 guys? Is that really all you're looking at targeting?
Yeah. I probably won't have any shares of any of the other guys. None of the wide receivers, none of the backup running backs, none of those guys.
That's what's changed about us in the past couple of years. The past couple of years, it was like, get any piece of the Chiefs you can, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And Sammy Watkins is left, so Josh has left that bandwagon. All right, let's go to the Raiders. And let's get in the car. Let's hear it, Josh.
Get in the car.
Woo, knock on the table if you're with me. All right.
Hey,
so
what a good hard knock.
Derek Carr. What is he anything? I mean,
he was the QB 18 last year. Yeah, that's something.
18?
13.
13?
He's a fringe QB1.
But who had the best game as a QB for the Raiders? Marcus Mariota did. Remember that Thursday night game where he got hurt and Mariota came in there and lit the world on fire?
Okay, so Matt Ryan is above him. You don't think that he can finish above Matt Ryan without Julio this year?
No.
I do.
The problem is Derek Carr lost a couple of receiving options that kind of helped him out last year.
Who?
I know
Nelson Aguilar?
Yeah. Nelson Aguilar was good for him last year.
He was like Orlando Jones from the Replacements.
Dude, he's got Darren
He put
Wallace.
the stickum on his hands, boys, and he was out there.
He's got He's got Waller. He's got Ruggs, right? And then Edwards.
And John Brown. And
Oh,
Hunter
yeah, that's right.
Renfrow.
They did pick up John Brown. So I don't know what to make of that group. That's interesting.
I still think Matt Ryan's receiving core is better than Derek Carr's.
I would agree.
Even with the subtraction.
Yeah.
At least I know he's got a wide receiver that can be a number one wide receiver. I can't say that about Derek Carr.
You don't think Henry Ruggs can be a wide receiver one?
He can be a occasional wide receiver.
What did Derek Carr's deep ball look like last year? Because that's what Ruggs' deal is.
There was a couple. He won a game. Remember that game he won? Where they blitzed everybody?
Don't watch a lot of Raiders football. Sorry.
That was the Jets, dude. That was the Jets.
Yeah, the
game.
Jets. Yeah, they
Jets. Jets.
All right, but Derek Carr, I mean, to me, he's a streaming quarterback. He's not a guy I want to keep. I'm not holding him. I'm not playing him every game.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's playing a bad defense. I'm benching him and finding somebody else.
Yeah, but he's going to be.
He's not the Patrick Mahomes.
In Superflex and 2 QBs, like, he's great. He's great second QB. I'm all about it. Let's go.
Okay, but as a 1 QB, mostly a streamer.
Yeah.
Bye week.
Play the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all right, what about Go ahead. The running backs? They went and added somebody.
This is not
They added
good.
Drake, boys.
This is not
They added
good.
Kenyon Drake.
That is
to
not
Josh Jacobs' backfield. And Kenyon Drake is running wide receiver routes. So that's telling me they're already thinking about putting him in the passing game over Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Smith.
He was already a liability in PPR. And now, that is not good, boys. That is
You still playing
not
standard league? Go get you some Josh Jacobs. But if you're in a PPR league, he is going RB20, and I think that might be a little high.
People still.
It's a shame too because he got 45 targets last year and he caught 33 of them. Like he was a running back one in PPR. He was creeping into that role where, we all hoped he would go after season 1.
John Gruden is the only person who's safe is Darren Waller, and that was because he probably shot up some drugs with John Gruden before that season. Now, other than that, everybody else not safe. Derek Carr
makes some
not
outlandish
safe.
claims sometimes.
I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding. Golly, I'm just saying. Darren Waller's the only guy that's safe. Like John Gruden's constantly flirting with other quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Like he always wants who he doesn't have, and his own guys end up paying the price. Josh Jacobs is a phenomenal running back. Phenomenal. There was no need to bring Kenyon Drake in and pay him what you did. But he did.
John Gruden treats the Raiders like I treat my fantasy team. I'm always looking to change it up.
Yeah, this is real life, though, dude.
He's
it's different.
I heard that on another podcast this week that he has player ADD. Like he gets bored with like the schemes and like the stuff he's got with the guys, and he's like, I gotta change it up. I gotta do something else, and he's gonna do this for another 7 years.
Yeah. So I mean, Josh Jacobs, honestly. Running back 20, he's probably okay value. He'll probably finish above the Miles Sanders and a couple of guys that are going before him. But it makes me so nervous because there'll be weeks where he just doesn't do anything. And then the injury problems that he pops up with. Yes, he usually plays through them, but he has a history of injuries the way he plays. Jamming it up the gut. So,
I mean,
yeah,
his ADP is good though. 20.
It's okay. It is okay. But it's just he scares me so much.
Especially because he finished as the 8th overall running back last season.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
And he'll play hurt. Like Brad alluded to, what was it, the first season he had like a busted shoulder socket and kept right on going.
Yeah. So who do you want, though? Let's say if you're on the clock here, David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, and Chris Carson are on the board, and you have to take a running back. Who are you taking?
Carson.
I like Montgomery, actually, out of those 3.
Yeah. And then if you had to take a wide receiver, if you could take a wide receiver or running back, would you go with a Julio or a Mike Evans or a CeeDee Lamb or a Robert Woods over Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, of course.
And that's my problem where his ADP's at. Unless I have not taken a running back to this point, I'm not taking Josh Jacobs there.
It's fair.
Which might change my strategy now. Maybe I don't take a running back early and I wait for Josh Jacobs to fall to me.
Would you be happy with that? I wouldn't.
If he was my second running back, how about that?
No. That's fair.
If I took one earlier? and I had a wide receiver, and then I got another wide receiver, and then I get him.
Yeah, that would be doable.
Yep. All right, the wide receiver situation. We got Henry Ruggs. He quick, boys. Quicker than a hiccup.
He's so fast.
We got Brian Edwards, the hype machine, speeding back. I think it's turning back up on him a little bit. It ain't what it was last year. Last year that thing was off the rails, just like his injuries, and he was out. Then they added John Brown, replaced Nelson Aguilar and Tyrell Williams with John Brown. I don't know if that's a positive move, negative move, or a lateral move. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just a move.
Yeah,
it's fine. Those two got big, huge deals, and you were like, well, we're not paying them that much money because Nelson Aguilar got a nice little what they call it, bag. Kids these days got a bag.
Oh yeah.
And then Hunter Renfro's still there as a PPR little Cole Beasley like player, but not going to put up Cole Beasley numbers.
No.
So,
yeah, but I don't really want any of these wide receivers. If you're going to take one, it'll be Ruggs, but
he's a home run play.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's going wide receiver 50.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's not bad.
I mean, you're talking about he's going as a wide receiver 5, and he's got upside. He could finish as a wide receiver 3. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they're all going like he's the highest one at wide receiver 50. And if I'm taking him as my 4th wide receiver, okay.
Yeah.
If I just got to pick the weeks. Because he's going to hurt you because he's going to be on your bench and you might put up 25 points on your bench. And you might start and you might put up 6 points.
I lost Sammy Watkins a couple years ago. Man, that hurt me so bad. Hurt me so bad.
And then there's Darren Waller, boys.
Oh.
Good to go, right?
What needs to be said?
Is he the tight end too?
3, maybe. Let's go 3.
Who you put above him?
I still like Kittle better.
Even with the injury concerns? If they were both on the board, you had to take if you have to draft a tight end for your redraft league this year, championship aspirations, you're taking Kittle. Okay. I'm taking Waller probably. It's a safer bet in my bad. That's why he beats out Kittle, just because of the durability.
Kittle also has a lot more competition around him. They drafted another running back. You've got Ayuk. You've got
but he's also got a better coach that will draw up plays for him, where I don't know if Gruden will just be like, all right, here's the play. But who's the target?
Hey.
Why is he banana, boys? Why is he banana?
Why is he banana?
David, whatever your name is, throw it to the guy in the tight end jersey.
Get in the car.
All right.
Let me tell you something about these guys, man. Let me tell you, man. That is not good.
All right, don't quit your day job there.
What was that guy's name that did the impressions of him?
Frank Caliendo.
That's the one. Great.
All right. LA Chargers. Josh Herbert. Greatest rookie season of a rookie quarterback.
Who?
Josh Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Oh,
yeah.
Justin Herbert was very good. And you're a Chargers fan, so that's
awkward. That's first names. You call them by the last names. We don't call people by the first names. The military and sports have that in common.
I don't know. I call you Eric and Brad all the time.
QB7 off the board.
Is that too high?
Yeah, it is for me.
In redraft, it's a little high for me. Yes. He's going ahead of Aaron Rodgers, and I know there's uncertainty about that, but he was the MVP last year and set a record that will probably never be broken in terms of touchdowns to interception ratio. So, yeah, that's too high.
Exactly.
I would rather.
I'm showing him as the QB6 above Wilson.
No.
That's what I'm showing right now. That's what I'm showing on.
I would rather take Tannehill a few rounds later, because Tannehill's been a top 8 quarterback 2 years in a row. Justin Herbert, while good, very good last year, great, he's given us 1 year. Defenses are going to have more tape on him now. COVID won't be as big of a factor this season. We've seen what happens with guys when they come off of their big seasons. Same thing, Lamar. Same thing with Cam Newton. A lot of these guys have great first years, and then their second year, they're not as good. Lamar Jackson wasn't an MVP this season. He was still really good.
He was an MVP. His second year, he was an MVP.
Yeah, he didn't play the much the first year is what I'm saying.
I know, but his second year, you said their second years.
Yeah, second year's a starter. Second year's a starter.
Year 2.
Okay. Baker Mayfield, all that. I get very nervous about it. He can be really good. I see he's going to get drafted way early. I probably won't own any of him in redraft just because I can't do it. I'm seeing in 2 QB leagues him going first round.
No.
Oh, it's just
No.
Maybe in a dynasty I could do that, but in just a straight up redraft, I'm not. I can't.
You can get Brady 2 rounds later, and you can get Tannehill even later than that. Get those guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Herbert, but don't waste the draft capital on him in a redraft league like that. He'll go get a running back.
Yes, Brady and Tannehill finished above him last year.
Big facts.
And their teams have gotten Brady's didn't change at all, and Tannehill added Julio Jones.
But he lost his OC.
So
they're fine.
Which matters more? All right. Austin Eckler. He's going as the number 11th player off the board, RB9.
I'm a little worried about him holding up after last year because he's small.
If you're in the back end of the first round, are you taking Austin Eckler over Devontae Adams?
Dude, that's so hard.
Do we know if Rodgers is playing or not?
Rodgers is playing.
If Rodgers is playing, then no, I'm taking Devontae Adams. He was a monster last year.
He's going to miss a game, though.
He'll still score like 15 touchdowns. Who cares?
I know.
Take Devontae Adams and thank you.
I think that's the problem. I think Eckler's in that tier of running back that breaks off where you're like, do I want an Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones and a Cam Akers? Like they're kind of right after that Nick Chubb, where Nick Chubb's like, I like having Nick Chubb. And then it's like, I got Eckler. Do I like having Eckler? Yes. Do I love it? It can hurt me.
So
yeah, I don't like it.
I took Eckler
in the first
and
round,
Sanders on the turn last year in redraft, and I'll never do it again.
Well, last year Eckler was hurt. When he was healthy, he was good last year when he played. My thing is, if you told me his ADP was 14, I would love it. If you just threw those wide receivers right above him and you dropped him down to 14, I'd say that's great ADPs. Begin the second round.
Yeah.
It's
well, I guess he would love that, huh? Maybe you'd love it if you get your dang dogs under control, Brad. Golly, I am so sorry, guys. He's not very professional, but we aren't over here at the Empty Wagon. Eric's over there freaking chasing ghosts or whatever. I don't know what he's doing. He's Blair Witch Project is what it looks like with freaking Paw Patrol headphones
so
on.
Startled. These are my son's Batman headphones. Thank you.
Sharon, I'm so startled right now.
I'm so startled.
But I think what he was saying is Austin Eckler's ADP is a little too high. That's okay. He's still a pretty good player. And basically you just have to decide what's best for your team. You can have a solid top 3 wide receiver at that point, or you can have a guy who will finish as possibly, an RB5 or RB35. You get a little bit more guarantee with the wide receivers there as opposed to what Austin Eckler can bring you. So I think that's what he was talking about. Now, are you ready to move on to wide receivers, boys?
Yep. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and then a bunch of
Just care.
trash. Yep.
Jared Cook.
They're gonna. All right, that's tight end. Another position.
They're all pass catchers to me.
You can't put them all in the same position. So
no, you're right. You can't.
All right, Keenan Allen is going as the wide receiver 10, 30th overall. I like that value a lot.
Yeah, I like.
He's still going to get targets. He's going to get a lot of PPR numbers.
One of the best performances ever by a receiver with a rookie quarterback. So,
and
almost
Keenan
1,000
Allen.
yards.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Sorry, almost 1,000 yards, almost 100 receptions. Just another solid. Bringing my lunch pail to work every day season for Keenan Allen. Draft him, especially at that ADP.
He does. He's one of those guys who will just be criminally underrated his whole career. He's like, I view him and Robert Woods in the same vein right now. They're guys who just finish around, wide receiver 1, high wide receiver 2 every year. Well, actually, Keenan Allen's always a wide receiver 1, but just guys who are just good football players. They're not flashy. They're not out there making headlines, being divas, or anything crazy like that. And Keenan Allen's got a little fight to him, but still, they're just They're just great players, man. And he'll probably end up slipping past this ADP, honestly, in your league. He won't be the 10th wide receiver off the board. He'll probably fall a little bit further, and you'll be like, yes, please, thank you. And you'll take him because people will see other guys behind him like Allen Robinson and will say, oh, yeah, let me get Allen Robinson. Great, go for him. Terry McLaurin, take him. CeeDee Lamb, take him. I would rather have Keenan Allen than all of those guys because I know the consistency in what he's going to give me. Phenomenal
Mike Williams or Henry Ruggs this year?
Nope. No, neither.
You got to pick one. You got to pick
Do
one.
I? Do I? Because
Yes.
I don't. I never would in a draft. Hey!
You got to pick one.
Going with your analogy, I think from last week, Brad, you'd rather have the number 1 in an offense than a number 2 or a 3. And Ruggs is technically the one, at least in terms of the wide receivers there, not the tight end. He's the number 1. So I guess you kind of got to go with Ruggs.
No, that's my thing. Mike Williams, ADP, he's a 55th wide receiver off the board. He's a dart throw wide receiver. The hype has always been there with him ever since Clemson, but he just cannot stay healthy. But the wide receiver in the wide receiver room started his career the same way. Keenan Allen was hurt his first couple of years in the season, has turned it around. Mike Williams going into his 4th season, so it isn't that big of a deal. He ain't that old. He's 4th, might be 5th.
He finished behind Laviska Shenault and Jerry Jeudy last year.
Yeah, he was hurt. He
And
was
Tim
beat up.
Patrick.
He was beat up last year.
So was Sterling Shepard. He finished behind him too.
But he finished above his 80. He finished above his ADP. Wide receiver 55. He was wide receiver 46.
Ooh.
All right. You guys ready to get cooking?
Yep, Jared Cook. You guys going to Jared?
I love going to Jared. I've had Jared on several fantasy teams, and I would draft him again.
He's like 85 million years old, dude. I
It's
don't
okay.
know if I want it.
He's still a
I
good
don't.
red zone target.
Yeah, he was great
What
last year.
do we talk about?
Tight
1
end
for
18.
1 for 6
Great.
points. That's all we need, right?
Yeah, well, he didn't even give you that last year. He gave you 7 touchdowns on 37 catches. In New Orleans, when Michael Thomas was hurt, there wasn't another option. So no, I don't want Jared Cook. You can keep him.
Where'd the
I'll take
cookie
Keenan
finish?
Allen because it's Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Those are the 1-2. Boom, boom. And then you want the third guy, possibly Mike Williams, maybe Jared Cook. I don't know. Hunter Henry did finish as the tight end 12 last year, which is, there's that. But the entire coaching staff is different, so the offense is going to be different. I don't know how they're going to utilize him yet. I'm not really banking on Jared Cook giving me any fantasy value. I think there are other guys going after him who can give me a bit more than him. There's a guy, Irv Smith Jr. I would much rather have him this year. I just don't see it, man. I don't see
I
it.
do not
I'm sorry.
condone the Irv Smith Jr. comment.
He's
I didn't
going
say I
tight end
want it.
19. He's going tight end 19, man. He's going in dart throw tight end range. Like, you can pick him up and drop him and not feel bad about it in a redraft league.
Yeah, drop
Let's
Finished
move
ahead
on.
of Kittle last year and Goddard. Just saying.
We need to speed this up. We gotta get to that was the AFC. Who's the best quarterback? Patrick Mahomes. Who's the best running back? That one's up for debate here, boys.
Is it Eckler?
CH or
It's Eckler. It's Eckler.
Eckler. Who's the best wide receiver? Tyreek Hill. Best tight end is Travis Kelce.
Pretty easy.
Moving on.
Moving on. Any sleepers you guys want to talk about? Not really.
There's
I
not.
think that Teddy Bridgewater, maybe, if he's a starter.
Ooh, yeah.
Cortland
like
Sutton. Cortland
Oh,
Sutton.
Jerry
if he's a
Judy.
full-time starter.
Jerry Judy.
Okay.
I like Judy.
Javonte, Melvin Gordon considered a sleeper since the hype's off on him.
Yeah, because he's gonna be sleeping on the bench.
Yeah.
Dirt nap. Yeah.
I like
Okay.
Judy with Bridgewater. I think he's gonna be good.
All right. Let's go to the NFC West. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals. We have the running Kyler Murray. Dude is quicker than a hiccup. He's just back there running around like a weirdo.
He's got
What do you guys think about Kyler Murray this
RC
year?
car speed. He just zoom. He's just gone.
He's going, I think, QB2. That's how I
Well,
look. QB3.
He finished
Ryan Josh
as
Allen.
the QB3 last year behind Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. So I'd say that's pretty standard.
And I know,
Shanahan.
Josh, you always Josh, you always say that you think running quarterbacks are going to get hurt. Career's not going to last as long. The fact is that is proven incorrect. You are more likely to get hurt by standing in the pocket and taking a blindside hit. The running quarterbacks actually get hurt less.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone a couple times after he scrambled. So Tom Brady's been hurt once his whole career.
And that was in the pocket. And he was out for the whole year.
Did you not read that article I sent you guys?
I will not read any article you sent me ever. If it's trying to disprove,
America. It's America. My point's right because I'm louder than you.
Yeah, if you're trying to disprove something I believe, I will not listen to you.
There's statistical evidence to show that you are wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll see when Kyler Murray's career is over in 2 years. But this year, I do back him up, and I think he's a decent fantasy play.
I think he can be better than he was last year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could win the lottery, so who knows?
All right, let's talk about the running back situation. Chase Edmonds, James Conner. Talk about another doo-doo-filled running back room. Like Chase Edmonds, he's ready for the workload. Is he ready for the workload? Is James Conner going to stay healthy for 16 games? We've seen James Conner do it before.
One time.
Yep.
Well,
that's more than some people.
Mike Tomlin said that after he found out James Conner was leaving, he literally cried. He literally cried.
That's why he drafted a running back in the round one?
Yeah. Well, that was after Conner said he wasn't going to come back. But, yeah, all that wasn't his fault. Not that the line is going to be much better in Arizona. It is better than what they had in Pittsburgh. But I think James Conner, he's going to be one of those dart throw guys you talk about because we've seen him do it before. I like him better than Chase Edmonds from a talent perspective, but I don't want either one of them. And I certainly don't want Chase Edmonds as my RB2 if that's where he's going right now. And it does look like that's his ADP. So you can keep that.
He's going RB26, yeah. He's going right behind James Robinson.
Yeah, I'll take James Conner, 34.
Yeah. He's going almost 2 rounds after Mike Davis, who's the RB24, though. So it's not like he's vastly overrated. He's going in the 67 overall. He's down there with Javonte Williams. So, yeah, it's just
middle of the 5th round.
He's shown some flashes, too, just not over a whole season. Where James Conner we've seen over a whole season. It's one of those things. I don't mind owning one of them, but like you said, Josh, I don't want them as my second running back. If they're my third running back, I feel okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wide receiver room. We got DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if you guys know this, but DeAndre Hopkins is really good.
I've heard that.
He's very good. Then they have this guy named AJ Green who was really good. I'm not sure if he's still good or not.
We'll see.
Could you see an AJ Green resurgence though with a better quarterback? As much as we like Joe Burrows, Kyler Murray's better.
I don't.
This year, go ahead. Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm not banking on him to do anything great this year. I mean, but his ADP is so good that you can take that dart throw on him. But I'm just not expecting it. If anything, I think Rondale Moore might have a better season, the rookie. But I don't think either one of them is going to be somebody I'm going to target. And DeAndre Hopkins was 4th overall. He's a target monster. He's going to get all the attention. Yeah. And then, I mean, granted, it is AJ Green will be on the field when he's healthy because they use, 4 wide receivers quite often. But how many of those passes are going to go to him? I don't know. We'll see. He couldn't get on the same page with a really good quarterback last year who arguably could end up being better than Kyler Murray. Down the line. So we'll see.
How about this? Is Cliff Kingsbury a better offensive play caller than what we've seen in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
You got to say yes.
Yeah.
It might be the offensive lines are bad, but at least he's playing towards his team strength. So maybe there could be something there with AJ Green. But like you said, it's so late. It's a dart throw player. If he's bad, you don't even care.
Maybe
he's not even going to hurt you. Yeah, he's getting drafted back there with the kickers. So that's all I need to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christian Kirk's still there. You mentioned Rondale Moore, and there's still Keyshawn Johnson there. They still have a lot of wide receivers, and they use a lot of wide receivers. So we'll see how they get used. All right, what about their tight end there? Max Williams. He's 1X away from another career.
You mean replacing Ice Cube as the next Triple X?
Sure. That's
No,
it. Yeah.
didn't Vin Diesel come back?
I
The
don't
return
know.
of Xander or
I
whatever
don't know,
it was.
boys. I don't know. He's all about family right now. Okay.
I
Nothing
hate
can
those
take
memes.
our family.
They're the worst.
I don't know.
He's getting ready
All right,
to kill Thanos. He's talking about his family.
but Arizona, are you? Because none of us go after quarterbacks early. So in a 2 QB league, would you be targeting the combo of a Hopkins Murray? In a 2 QB league.
Yeah.
Because that's a league that pushes us both to go QB early.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's realistic to think you'd get them both.
But if you could.
If you went first and second round, I think you can.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, I'd rather have Alan Diggs. But that's a nice consolation prize if you can't get them.
Okay. All righty. Let's go on to the Rams. Sean McVay got him a nice new shiny toy. It ain't really new. It's been used. It's been around the block a couple times, but it's worn. It's like getting a classic car, right?
Oh, yeah. Firing up that 67. He's firing up that 88 because I think Matt Stafford's 33 like me. Firing up that 88.
You got to go snapback Matt, okay?
Matty snapback? My guy.
All right. Stafford. That's an upgrade over Jared Goff, correct? I know their numbers were very similar last year.
No.
But that was Matt Stafford in a Matt Patricia offense with no wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Now he goes to a Sean McVay offense we'll get into the receivers here in a minute, and just better all around, I think, offensive scheming.
Better scheme, better line, better pass catchers, better running game. They will get the most out of McVay. Will probably get the most out of that you've ever seen out of Stafford in terms of like they could think about going just lighting it up like they did with Goff that year that he was so good with Gurley.
But here's the problem though. Stafford's going QB 10. Can he outperform his ADP?
That I don't think so.
That's where I'm at with it. Like where his ADP is good, but he adds nothing in the running game, which a lot of the guys above him do. Mahomes adds a little bit in the running game. Josh Allen adds a ton in the running game. Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns than Zeke Elliott since Josh Allen has came into the league. Just a weird stat for you guys.
Yeah. And even Brady and Tannehill have those sneaky 5 touchdowns every year because they get some goal line work. So
yeah, so that's why I think QB 10 is about perfect for him. Do not overpay on him and think he's going to be the QB 4. I don't see that. I think his ceiling is QB 8.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Because you mentioned it, Josh, what Aaron Rodgers did last year. Aaron Rodgers lit the world on fire, was MVP, best touchdown to interception ratio. Was he the QB1 last year? No. So even though he played perfect quarterback through the air play, not the QB1. Mm-hmm. Without the rushing, it is very hard now to go to be QB1. We have to kind of reevaluate the way we're looking at quarterbacks. I honestly think guys with legs are going to get a bigger bump and have the better chance.
Everyone has legs, Brad.
I don't know if Peyton Manning did those last couple of years, bud. He had something he was propped on, but I don't know if they were legs.
He had HGH to hold him up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's how he had that 5 head, boys.
All right, but Matt Stafford, I think we all like him this year, but I don't want anybody getting crazy and going, I'm taking him over Brady. I'm taking him over Russell Wilson.
Oh, don't try to get cute with it now. Calm down.
Don't get cute with it. Take him where he's at. Let him come to you. Don't go get him.
100%.
All right, Cam Akers. Is he this good?
No.
I think
Is this all he had a great he's going to RB11. He had really great postseason and a couple games late in the year. Is that all hype from the postseason?
I think
he's closer to RB17 than he is RB11.
Interesting. I like all the running backs from last year except for CEH better than basically all of the running backs this year except for Najee Harris. Like I would take Taylor, Akers, Dobbins, and Swift, and then Harris.
And James Robinson?
I don't think Robinson's going to get the volume this year. He's going to split. He's going to split time. If they hadn't drafted ETN, I would say Robinson over most of those guys. But I think Akers can do it.
So how many times was Akers the guy? So it was weeks 13 through 17, right? It was the last 4 weeks of the season. So during that stretch, that was good enough to be RB42. So you tell me, because the last 2 games he finished with 6.2 points against the Jets on 15 carries, and then he finished with 6.6 points against the Cardinals.
Yep.
I think
taking
that he is
DeAndre Hopkins before him, and I'm waiting for a CEH if I want a running back.
I want nothing to do with Akers at this ADP. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he had that big blow up game last year, and he did. He had a huge game against the Patriots where he ran the ball 29 times. Do you think Sean McVay is going to give him the ball 29 times with Matt Stafford back there?
Also, remember, Jared Goff had a busted shoulder, and they were playing Wofford back there.
That's what I'm saying. So do you think that's going to happen? I don't.
No. He's not Todd Gurley.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not banking on Cam Akers to be this guy. I think that he could be the third down back that Sean McVay wants him to be, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a good fantasy football running back. So keep him, at that ADP, let some other sucker fall in that landmine. Go for it.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Antonio Gibson after him and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2 guys that are going after him that I like better. I don't know about the Joe Mixon and the Najee Harris after him taking those 2 above him, but still, there's 2 guys after him that I like way more. And if we go down a little deeper, there's even some more guys that I like more than him.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
In the running back, just running back wise.
Yep.
Like even the David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, and Chris Carson, like knowing that I can get one of those 3 later, I'll take a wide receiver there in a heartbeat. Bingo, bango.
Fine. That's
bingo,
fine.
bango.
Yeah, I'd rather have Dobbins like later on or Swift. Again, I don't love CH, but you can get Montgomery cheap later. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm fine.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this wide receiver room. All right. I knew the 2 top guys. I Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, remember them. Then I forgot about the number 3 wide receiver out
Tutu
there.
Atwell?
No. Deshaun Jackson, boys.
Oh, that's right.
God. His week
D-Jax.
Pick him up playing week 1, and then you can drop him because he's going to be hurt the rest of the season. But that week 1 is going to be fire.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford throwing bombs, baby.
Probably, dude.
Yeah. So he is their legit deep threat.
3 for 122 and 3 tutters, baby. Let's go.
I saw that. I was like, Deshaun Jackson, I forgot he got signed there. So he's a sneaky little play. Like I'm kind of giving him the sleepers, but I would take a sleeper pick on Deshaun Jackson.
Better than Tutu. Tutu is
really and we all I think we all love Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp for some reason is a red zone machine. I don't understand it. He gets red zone targets out the wazoo.
He does get a lot of red zone targets.
So I don't know if that will stay. I don't know if that'll stay consistent with Stafford there. If that might move around a little bit. But that's the one thing. That's why I'm still like Robert Woods, because I think Robert Woods all up and down the field has shown more his time in LA. I like them all about where their ADP's at. I would reach a little bit on Woods maybe if I wanted to. Probably take him over some of the guys that he's there with, because he's got a good chance to finish as a wide receiver 1. At least flirt with it.
Yeah, Woods is 19th off the board. Unless it switched on me again.
Yep.
$17.
17.
Yeah.
And then Cooper up at 21. Yeah, so they're right in there.
Like I would probably take him over. Maybe I might take him over Cooper Kupp and CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans and Julio Jones. I don't know.
Am I reading this right? Is Chris Godwin actually going after Robert Woods?
Yes, he had a terrible year last year, man. People remember it.
Dropsies.
Drops in the playoffs, buddy. Just like Cam Akers had a huge playoff game. People remember stuff that doesn't matter.
It pins in his hand.
Yeah, they don't care.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
Cool. Moving on. Tyler Higbee. He's a tight end with a pulse. That's all I'm saying with him. Like he'll have a couple games and Yeah, he has some games you can play him.
Next.
Moving on to the 49ers. Who's the starting quarterback, Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Who starts more games this season?
Lance after week 5 when Garoppolo gets hurt.
No. Who starts more games this whole season?
Lance.
Oh, Lance. Because Garoppolo will get hurt.
Jimmy G starts more games.
Shut up.
Did you guys see that? I saw somebody posted like the top, like they ranked all the head coaches, and like Mike Shanahan was ranked the third best coach in the league. And I'm like, he has a losing record. Like,
you mean Kyle?
Sorry, Kyle Shanahan. Yeah,
Same.
Whatever. Sorry, first names eluding me tonight.
Nepotism. That's how he got successful. Nepotism.
He's blown 2 huge Super Bowl leads. I'm just saying, facts.
It's true.
I don't know. I think Kyle Shanahan has a good mind, but the injury is going to beat them up. Speaking of injuries, we'll speak about the running backs here. We got Raheem Mostert, we got Trey Sermon, we got Wayne Gallman, and we got Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. is already out till probably at least week 6.
Meniscus. Yeah.
Yep. With that being said, which running back plays more games? There's still a chance it could be Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
Which running backs plays the most games?
They are snake bitten in that position. You know who they need to bring back? Frank the Tank. Bring Frank back. He's still floating around out there.
Frank Gore.
Yeah.
He doesn't get
Hi,
hurt.
Maria.
Let him finish up his career there. You know he ain't getting hurt. He stays healthy. Solid 2 yards per carry, boys. He's in there. Getting stuffed at the goal line. That's your guy.
Oh, man.
Eric, you have, what is that? CDMR, whatever voice going right now? What is it called? ASMR voice?
Oh, ASMR?
Yeah, you
Or
get that
like
voice
just
right now.
Locks up and things. Yeah.
That's what you said.
I have a cold.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I guess
It's me, Eric.
I would probably go with, Mostert. Sermon's got the shoulder injury, right? He's coming off the shoulder injury.
But
Wilson's
they
already
say he'll
got
be ready.
meniscus problems.
Yeah. Mostert's got a little tag next to his name right now too.
No, I know.
That's
It's like, that's such a
Mostert's
terrible
going
thing to ask.
RB 28. Sermon's going RB 40. I think if you draft one, you need to draft both. Honestly,
I would agree.
if
You
you're
need to
going to take
handcuff
Mostert, you need to reach for Sermon because I think whoever does start in this will be good. If we took the whole 49ers running back this year, I think it will be an RB1. The problem is it's going to be like 4 guys that make up that RB1. And it's not even the committee approach during games. It's the fact of who starts more and who's healthy and who stays healthy.
Would you rather have Mostert or DJ at 81?
DJ Dallas?
No, David Johnson.
Oh.
It's like a streaming backfield. Like,
yeah, it is. Like you got to own a couple pieces of it to own it.
Okay, here, better question. You can get Mostert at 72. You get Rojo at 89.
Mostert can win me weeks.
Okay. He does have world-class speed. He can really – he can hit home runs, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
he drops nukes, boys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the wide receivers. Debo, Ayuk, Jalen Hurd.
No,
Jalen Hurts Patriot.
Well, he's on their depth chart.
No, you're thinking about the other guy.
Kedrick Bourne. Sorry.
Yeah,
right.
the Bourne ultimatum.
Yeah, I looked it up. All right, Debo and Ayuk are the two dudes we need to talk about. Which one do you want to own? Who's going to be the better wide receiver in this offense?
What you got on my 40, homie? Debo.
Ooh, I like Ayuk.
I like Debo. What you got on my 40, homie?
The reason I like Ayuk is he's going a lot later than Ayuk's going to wide receiver 25.
He was hurt.
I cannot take Ayuk over Odell Beckham, Jamar Chase, even Claypool, Higgins, like Cortland Sutton, maybe even like Ayuk over those guys. I can't trust it. Especially if Trey Lance is starting quarterback, I don't trust any of that. Debo gets moved around the offense. He'll get some rushing work. They'll draw up plays for him.
Debo might be the best running back on that team.
Exactly, until he gets hurt because they put him at running back. But he's going wide receiver 38. which, like I said, that's down there with the Jerry Judys and quarterbacks, and like he's going after Brandon Cooks.
I'll take it.
And Will Fuller the fifth. Like exactly. If you say Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, or Debo Samuel, who you taking?
Yeah, I'm taking Debo.
Debo, baby.
All right, then George Kittle, arguably tight end 2 or 3, depending on who you talk to on this thing. We've already talked to him to death. He's really good. If he stays healthy for 16 games, man, he could be world beaters. He's the only tight end to be tight end 1, right, over Kelsey?
Mm-hmm.
In the
He
last
actually
like 4 years?
finished as the tight end 1.
Yeah, he did.
There was 1 year Kelsey didn't do it over like the last like 5.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Let's go on Amazon Prime. Let's buy some $70 Russell Wilson T-shirts, and let's get this party started.
Oh,
You just triggered Josh.
I just like him so much.
He's going as the wide receiver 6 or 7, depending on when we updated these rankings. That's about right, guys? I mean, that's where you're taking him.
Yeah, QB6. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Josh won't touch him with a 10-foot pole, but he understands why he's there.
Well, Josh doesn't like to win, so.
Josh drafted him in the league. He talks all this crap that he drafted him.
Yeah, you can't deny talent. Like you don't.
You can't deny talent. You can.
I'm not gonna be stupid. Like I don't like the guy, but he hasn't committed any crimes.
Other than selling plain T-shirts for $100, but
Not a crime. Not a crime.
Oh, you're
Jordan's
right.
been ripping people off for years.
It's a
with his
moral
shoes.
crime. It's a moral crime.
That's not moral crime. Is a real crime. All right, moving on. Chris Carson is the running back there. Rashad Penny may not be ready for week 1.
He's never ready.
He's
So
really
Eric, you
not.
asked me a question. You said, should you drop Rashad Penny in a dynasty league, right?
I did. I asked the average bros the same question.
What'd they say?
They said you can probably get rid of him.
It depends on who you're dropping him for. Right now in camp, I don't want to drop him because anything can happen. I'm not dropping a guy that if the dude goes down, he is going to be the starter. So I
That's
can't
fair.
drop him right now in a dynasty.
Yeah,
Chris
no, that's
Carson
good
is the
advice.
guy to own there. Now, if depending on the size of the league and what you're getting, that's always what it comes down to. What are you dropping him for? So,
Mhm.
Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not ready to drop Rashad Penny, especially in the deeper leagues. Like I have him in FSA, and those rosters are so deep. I'm going to hold on to him because I still believe in the player. But it's getting to the point now where if you've held on to him this long, what's one more year going to hurt you? You know, I mean, unless there's somebody out there who you're like, I got to go get him. But
Funny thing, I'm in a dynasty league where I own Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, and DJ Dallas. Got the whole thing locked up, boys.
There you
hey,
go.
you're good to go.
Okay, so for our listeners, Josh loves to hang on to running backs that never fulfill their talent. Kerryon Johnson, Marlon Mack. Like he has a soft spot in his heart for broken things. They're just guys that aren't going to reach their potential.
Bingo. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. She agrees.
Yeah, in a deeper league, sure. Go for it.
I love broken
Also-
things. That's why I've been holding on to you as long as I have, Eric.
Also,
I
Josh
believe.
loves to send trash trades out for really good running backs. He likes to offer you Damian Harris, Rashad Bateman, and a first for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, you got a first? I think I got a second for DeAndre Swift. So
No.
the other
I'll
two.
do it first, too.
All right, let's talk about. Let's get through these wide receivers. This is the last team: DK and Tyler Lockett, and then a sprinkling of some other people that nobody cares about. Right?
Well, they drafted a guy.
They did Estridge. Okay, his
The team
estrogen
that
might be
needed
high.
so much. The team that needed so much, but wide receiver. First pick, they took a wide receiver.
Yeah, that
Nailed
was
it.
perplexing.
Nailed
We're
it.
going to run the ball more. We're going to get back to running the football. Draft a wide receiver.
You got to keep the body guessing, boys.
Keep the whole league guessing. That's what they're
Mhm.
doing.
All right,
Rams,
But
Juju
DK and
Atwell.
Lo-
Keep them guessing.
DK and Lockett are really the only fantasy guys we need to talk about here.
hmm
How good is DK Metcalf?
Very good.
Yes.
Is he as good as ADP though? Wide receiver
Uh,
6 over AJ Brown.
No.
Over Justin
no.
Jefferson.
No.
No.
Over Michael Thomas. Like, tell me when to stop.
Absolutely
Over
not.
Keenan Allen. Terry McLaurin.
That's probably where
Yeah,
you draw
I'd
the
take
line.
him over too.
Allen
Well-
Robinson.
He
No, I
finished
like Allen
above Allen.
Robinson better.
He finished above Allen Robinson last year. Yeah.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So
Allen Robinson has a quarterback now.
Does he? Andy Dalton?
Whoa, the
No,
rifle. No. Justin Fields won't play. Didn't you hear what the coach said? Matt Nagy said, we're sticking with the plan of the $10 million man.
I heard the Chargers team doctors are going to take care of that, boys.
Watch out, Andy Dalton. You better not hurt yourself, bud.
That's the problem with DK. Yes, very good. But wide receiver 6? I cannot get behind that.
He finished 7th last year.
Yeah, but it was all in the first half, right?
Same with
that.
Lockett.
And Michael Thomas was banged up last year. AJ Brown was banged up a little bit starting the season.
No, AJ Brown was banged up all year. He wasn't supposed to play. He played through it.
He played 14 games compared to DK Metcalf's 16. So,
well, he wasn't supposed to play any of those. What I'm saying.
Yeah,
Week 1 himself was supposed to play.
Double knee surgery, and he still had one more touchdown than DK did. Boom, roasted.
I mean, like I said, DK is very good. It's just I get very nervous with the ADP with a team that stresses they're going to run the ball more.
Yeah. Chris Godwin is 2 years removed from being wide receiver 2, and he's going 16th. Take him.
Yeah, so let's just talk about what he did.
Exactly, MJ.
Let's just talk about what he did the last, weeks 13 through 17, like when you're in your playoffs. 13 points, 18 points, 9 points, 11.9 points. Those are not week-winning games. I'm sorry. They're just
those are
not.
Great for the wide receiver 15.
Perfect.
I'd be happy with it. But wide receiver 6? Show me what Justin Jefferson did those games.
Oh, dude. Oh. He was throttling fools. Let me pull it up.
I got it.
He was throttling fools.
13 through 17.
27, 10, 18, 14, and 22. So he was a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's the difference. Those 9 points, 10 points can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, that's just not going to cut the mustard.
Yeah. And he saw Tyler Lockett there, who they just gave a big extension to, who they're going to try to get the ball to.
Yeah, and Russell Wilson, he's still got beef with Future. There's all kinds of stuff going on that we just we can't trust his head. Can't trust his head. We don't know where his head's at.
I do like Lockett's value at wide receiver 22. But like people say is if you miss Lockett's big games, you are hating yourself.
Yeah,
he had 2 ginormous games last year, and you got to start him in those games. If you don't, he is useless to you.
Yep, been there with Amari Cooper. Been there.
Well, Cooper's fixed his problems. Cooper now is like the picture-perfect, consistent wide receiver.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Predicting 12th, if he's lucky, not even top 10. Yeah, he's going to finish as a wide receiver 1. I think that's fine, but it's
what about
not
the Seahawks?
consistent.
They go on at a wide receiver, Gerald Everett there. Tight end, Gerald Everett. They're pass catchers, as Eric would say.
He's a guy.
He's a guy that, I wouldn't mind drafting him if I wait on tight end and just seeing what happens. We've seen the tight end one come out of Seattle. Jimmy Graham.
Yeah. We did. We did see that. That happened.
He's going 24th overall.
24th tight end overall. Tight end overall. Not 24th player overall, right?
Right. 24th tight end. 209. Okay. 209 overall.
Yeah, exactly. I just throw him on my bench back there, see what happens, see if he gets put in the offense. If not, I drop him. I know it's kind of like the Darren Waller from a couple years ago. You pick him up late. If he does nothing, you don't care.
You don't care.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, who is the best quarterback in this division? This one's a little tougher, I think.
I think it's
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray from a fantasy standpoint, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to throw it a ton. I think they can actually do that 4 wide receiver set that they want to this year.
Okay. What about best running back in this division? Chris Carson, Cam Akers, one of the Arizona guys, Raheem Mostert. If I told you got 16 weeks of Mostert, that's still missing one game this. That's still missing one game this year.
Yeah,
You're
but I take that.
16 though. I say Akers.
No, I think it's Carson, but I would love to be.
I think it's still Akers, but I don't think it is for what his ADP is. I still think he's the best one in this bunch. I still don't like him for his ADP because
I think he'll have the best fantasy finish out of any of them, though.
That's
okay. Yeah, and I agree with that. Wide receiver. Is it DK? Is it Nuke?
It's Nuke.
Robert Woods?
It's Nuke.
It's Nuke, but the best value is Robert Woods, right?
Yeah, like 14. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tight end, Kittle or Kittle? Yep, it's Kittle.
Kittle.
Yeah.
It's Kittle. Hey, but the good thing is when Gerald Everett plays the Rams, you know who's going to be starting him? Revenge game. All about the narrative, boys. Okay, any sleepers you guys want to talk about? We kind of talked about some guys as we went along there.
2-2.
Well, D-Jack's over 2-2 all day, baby. Just because you want to name your like 2-2s or something. All right, let's talk about this trade me and Eric did real quick. Which one you want to talk about first?
Which one?
You want to talk about the Godwin one?
Yeah, we can talk about that first. Sure.
Super Flex League, 10 teams. I gave up Chris Godwin. I got Jalen Hurts, a first next year, and a first in 2023.
Well, you got Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
And 2 firsts.
Yes.
Yeah.
For Chris Godwin.
Yep.
Yes. In a vacuum, what do you think of the deal?
I needed a number one. I needed a number one receiver.
And I have 3 number 1 wide receivers. So
I think Eric, you overpaid a little bit.
You got to do that for a guy like that. And actually, according to your boys at Dynasty Nerds, I underpaid a little bit.
Well, it depends on if you all, yeah.
I took
fair.
Jalen Hurts and Chris Godwin. I traded them for Dak and a super flex, and I felt great about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because you got to consider the draft just happened, so the first round picks don't hold that much value right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So really, you kind of have to look at it as like, okay, I'm trading Chris Godwin and let's say a third this year. We'll call it a third this year, basically, for Jalen Hurts. If you had it for the 2021 rookie draft that just happened.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay. I mean, I would do
and the
that.
thing is, the reason you got to look at the players is that he has Dak and he has Tannehill and Tua. So he didn't need another quarterback.
He didn't need him. No. He didn't need him. I
have Keenan Allen. I have Allen Robinson. I have Odell. I have DJ Chark. There's a guy I'm missing in there. Oh, DJ Moore.
So
my wide receiver room is full.
I guess Zeke and Aaron Jones, so I have a very small window left, I feel like, to get a title with these guys. So I'm all in. And then if it doesn't work out, I just blow it up and I get picks with those guys.
And I have 4 first-round picks next year.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
They're all unproven guys. Lotto tickets.
I don't care. I love having first. I don't care anymore.
I do too.
Okay. What was the other trade?
I did the 107 for Tannehill. So I flipped Claypool.
Before the draft.
I flipped Claypool for the 107 and then flipped the 107 for Tannehill in this draft.
Yeah.
I thought that was, I like that move.
And the 107 ended up being
Javonte.
Etienne.
Oh, he went 1-6 was Javonte.
I used your pick to get Etienne because I had him back-to-back, so it didn't matter.
That's okay with me. I'll take number 8 QB all day.
Prime time. Love it. I like that pick. I like that trade a lot more than I like the first. I don't like giving up those first, but like you said, your window is small. It all makes sense whenever you put the whole picture together.
Right.
On paper, it's like if you just told me with the I'm like, ugh. But whenever you're saying, hey, I'm going all in, I'm trying to get the juice now and win it, I'm all for that, dude.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's win this thing.
Because I don't care. So like in the league I'm in with you guys, I love the picks. I want all the picks. But in this league, I want no picks. I want no.
And it's a 10-team league, so every team looks stacked when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Compared to when you look at the 12 teams and deeper, because it's not that deep and there's only 10 teams. It's like
but my team actually is.
Somebody spent $73 on Daniel Jones in Fab. I'm just saying. But I cut it. I cut him $73 of $100 Fab.
I offered that guy Jalen Hurts too, and he didn't take him. But hey, you need a quarterback that bad? Spend $73 in Fab. It's fine.
on Jalen on Danny Dimes, who I told her about was drafting, but
Whew. We never hit the news up. Do you guys want to do news or no?
Is there any? There's not really news, is there?
Well, I mean,
We're
Frank
an hour and
Clark
20.
got charged with a felony possession of a weapon.
Is there fantasy relevant news?
Yeah,
Because we're at an hour and 20 right now.
yeah.
Nah,
I think
we could probably talk about the rest of this off air.
Probably wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. That was Brad and Eric. You can find us on Twitter at Tack Jones, at Gunsaveld19, and at FFJoshHughes. If you want to talk to the show on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, it's going to be Empty Wagon FF. And don't forget to check out our website, fsa-fr.com. We love you guys. We appreciate everything you do for us. Please go and support the show. Download the podcast on the FSA stream. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.